This is just a quick recap about transformation, and we might touch on transformation in coordinate planes or Cartesian planes. I've got this shape here, this arrow, and if I flipped it, or this particular word is reflect, okay, if I flip it over, it's going to land on top of itself here. You can see the arrow is going to be nearer where it's been flipped over. So that's reflection. Translate is when you sort of slide, use the word here, slide, it just moves across. And then we've got rotate, which is obviously to turn. So the proper words we want to use are obviously reflect, translate, or rotate. Now often you might be asked to rotate something either 90 degrees clockwise or 90 degrees anti-clockwise. 180 degrees clockwise or 180 degrees anti-clockwise shouldn't make a difference. Okay, but just be careful, make sure you know your 90 degrees, 180 degrees, which is a half a turn, 270 degrees, which is 3/4 of a turn, but then you have to think clockwise goes the way the hands of the clock go. If you get stuck, have a quick look at the clock, which way are those hands going? Anti-clockwise means it goes the opposite. Also, you can know that as counterclockwise, it's the opposite. So if I just scroll down a little bit further, here's a couple more shapes. I've got this tennis player here. This is the original one, he's holding it here. If I put a line of symmetry here, it's going to flip over. You can see the racket would be here. It's just flipped over. This one here is being flipped over from here to here, or not? What would you say that one is? Would you say that's being reflected? It's another word I might use. Translated or rotated. If it's being rotated, it'd have to sort of move this way around or this way around. So clearly this one here would have to be translated. It's been slid across. It's exactly the same, just being moved. And if this one here was taller, with a golf club there, taller or wider, then that wouldn't be congruent because it's not the same size. It could be the same shape, but it's not the same size, so that would not be congruent. Congruent is the same size, same shape. This particular one, certainly not been reflected, certainly hasn't been translated, so this one must be rotated. So if I look at this one, would you say this has been rotated certain degrees, and how many would you say? You could get from here to this position in two different ways. Can you think of them? So I'm thinking of how many degrees clockwise, so you go from here to here, or how many degrees anti-clockwise, because you go from here to there. Have a think about that. Then further down, and this is all on Mathletics booklet, and you'll be able to see that this is in the grade 6 particular one. If I look at this letter here, it's a D, like in my report card. I know. How do I get from this to this? What could I do? Any idea? So you might, could I rotate it? I probably could. How many degrees? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? Is there another possible way? So could I slide it over? Which word I'll use is translate. Okay, so it's a slide. I can get it over here, and if that was the case, it should be looking like this. Be looking like that. Maybe like that. But then I would then have to turn it, which is rotate it. How many degrees? Yeah. So it's possible solutions to get this answer. And so you can find this on grade 6 on our booklets there. So please have a look at that. You can try some of these reflections. It's a cat, some shapes down here. The grade 7 one, if I look at the grade 7, grade 7 one comes up with first quadrant, second, third, fourth. Remember, you can draw the C, start here, first quadrant, second, third, fourth. C for Cartesian planes or coordinates. And on this particular one, a bit of high level thinking going on, but have a look at some of these. You can try putting in some of these coordinates. -2, 1. Which quadrant would you think that would be in? -2, 1. So maybe you do your x-axis first. Do I go to the right? Do I go to the left? -2, x-axis goes that way. So I'll be going left, -1, -2. It's a +1, so I'd be going up. Okay. Just randomly choose this one, R. This is 0, 4. So on the Cartesian plane, it would, versus the origin, it would say either 0, 0, or often just 0. I haven't moved across x-axis anywhere, say 0. 4, I go up 4. So I'm actually on the y-axis. I'm not in any quadrant, I'm actually on the y-axis. What about, let's try this one here. N, 7, -3. So I start at the origin, 0, 0, just 0. 7 is a positive, so I go 7 to the right. -3, I go down 3. So good luck with this. Try some of the games. I'm sure you'll be fine.